And I looked at Kieran, I said, Kieran, unless it's a children's party, you're not going to be a bouncer.
No.
Not the best start for today. That's farming. I'm going to pay for that in a minute. I think when I get back in the house, I'm going to be in trouble. 21st of February, there's quite a really warm wind actually, it's quite windy. So the boys started fertilising this morning, cracker sparrows at 5 o'clock to try and beat the wind. Then the wind came, they've had to stop. Just down at the Cheddar Dreams, we're looking at the drainage work, so it always looks worse before it gets better, but at the moment we're putting an oil interceptor in, so any oil that gets spilt on the site gets captured through all the into the drains, etc., gets separated out. We've got them across the site now, so we capture it, it goes into a tank, then we have it, then once a year we get them emptied. Then everything's being piped from the gutters. They're all getting all the gutters now plumbed up, which is good. It makes the site a lot drier. And then they're doing the drainage as well. So, yeah, you can see it's working quite nicely. They're just starting to get it all in, dropping these great big concrete things. And everything has to be so that it can have lorries running on it. So, you know, it's got to be 50 ton plus capability. Then this will be all dug out a bit more. Then they'll hardcore it. And then they'll, tram it, then hardcore it. And then this will all be part of the concrete yard. So it's coming down that edge in a straight line with the drainage. So all the drainage will go that way. Then it comes back into all these tanks. Everything from the yards comes this way. It's all collected. And then this is then the fresh water that's coming off other parts of the area which aren't related to where the machinery sits, which then goes into that big pipe there, and then that's going off down to the pond, and then from the pond out. So it's going to look a lot smarter. It looks an absolute mess at the moment. There's mud everywhere, lorries all being loaded. It's a quite busy environment. It'll be nice when it's finished, and hedges will come into flower, and we'll get the grass done and everything. So it'll be a smart area. It's actually surprising how big the area actually is. In terms of concrete, I know we've had over 100,000 pounds of stone already delivered. And I just had to ask Paul to get some more stone so we can fill all this area in and start making good. So the curbs are getting done. Electricians are in the shed there doing all the wiring. And it's hellishly windy, but it's a really warm wind. I mean, everything's starting to dry up. You wouldn't believe it when you look at the video in a minute of what the disaster that happened first thing this morning. My days ended, and normally you get a bad bit in the middle of the day and both ends are quite good, but today for whatever reason I've had it the opposite way around, where it started bad and actually hasn't got any better, so maybe it'll get better later, but it's just one of those peculiar days. Anyway, it's been such a bad time, I've decided I'm going to I said last week I was going to look for a holiday, but I feel empowered now when I get home tonight. Tomorrow's job is I'm going to book something before I upset everybody. Anyway, so yeah, really pleased it's coming on now. It's a job to tell. It looks like I come around here every week saying it's happening, but it is happening. What's happened here then, Paul?
Unfortunately, the wet track needed a bit more than the wooden blocks that we dropped.
So the tanker is sunk in the ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the back wheel is off the floor?
Yes, and the neck is on the floor.
So we're now having to pump it out.
Yeah, of course.
So lift the valves up, we're going to have to get a wrecker in. So we do that so we don't damage the tanker. Rather than us trying to do it with forklifts, we get a recovery lorry, but we'll do it properly without doing any damage. You can't put chains on the tin because that would dent it. And then Kieran's sitting here waiting to fill up as well. I'm having to fill up because obviously the floor's fallen down. Yeah, they've gone down very slowly. It just sunk into the track. It's on blocks, but really irritating. So it was an early start. They started at 5 this morning, and obviously they've got the tank loads out, and then that's it. But purely because it absorbs a huge amount of time. These types of problems. Not the best start for today. That's farming.
pretty obvious what's happening behind us. We've got Lombardos here with their wrecker to lift the tanker back up out the floor. We're spraying it out into the sprayers, so there's very little left in it, so it should be an easy lift. And then yeah, drop it on some blocks, pull the unit back under, and then take it back to the yard and assess the damage.
He was trying to ask Chris about bouncer jobs, and I looked at Kieran. I said, Kieran, unless it's a children's party, you're not going to be a bouncer.
No. Well, you never know.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly confident. There'll be no moonlighting for bouncing for you.
Well, if I can't lift them, I'm not going to shift nowhere else, am I?
No. What time did you start this morning?
5.
Yeah. And how productive was it today?
Honest or not?
Well, let's have the honest version.
Not really.
Not really, no.
It
So what happened this morning? You got into the field
and went pulled straight in the gateway.
and the tanker was
on its nose.
on its nose.
On where the fifth wheel
So
goes.
you then sent it to Paul.
Yeah.
You then rang Paul, poor old Paul, at 5:15 this morning or something. Was it 5:15?
I think that's when the message came.
Right.
Yeah, 5:15.
Paul then decided to send it to me. So I was sitting.
Wait till 6.
Yeah, no, I saw that. And I was sitting. Well, I was in the bathroom, and I thought I'd just, you know, see. I like to stand on the scales in the morning, and I weigh myself, and then I like to record it every day.
How did that go?
Anyway, well, that wasn't so bad. But and this message popped up from Paul. I thought, whatever's going on this morning? And there it was. I looked at it, and I thought,
Always happens on a Friday. When you want to get on it, you never get on.
no, it normally happens on a weekend.
Or a weekend, yeah. Normally a pain in the arse on a Friday.
It wasn't the message I wanted this morning.
And
No.
Paul, you're still working on it, aren't you?
Yeah, we're a couple of parts short. Obviously, I'll keep a small stock of spares in the shed, but unfortunately, it needs a bit more than what I hold. But I've made a call, and the parts are being delivered to my house tomorrow morning.
And we have told the person we hire it from, haven't we?
We have told him.
Before we tell the world how this has turned out really badly for us today,
We have told him.
We have told him, yeah.
I've sent him a picture.
And we've asked for forgiveness, haven't
He
we?
was absolutely fine, no problems.
And then you had the wrecking man come in, because we decided, didn't we, that, you know, there are points that we could go get forklifts on, but
Yeah.
it would end in tears.
It's not worth the risk, especially with
Did
the
a good
tanker,
job.
because the tanker doesn't have a full chassis all the way along.
So you got a friend who came out,
Yep.
and you organised for him to come, and he came out of a machine.
Yeah.
He lifted it up.
Yeah, he lifted it with airbags for a start, under the where the pin is. He slid these airbags under, blew those up to be able to put wooden blocks
Oh,
under.
really?
To then put to be able to get a chain under.
Underneath.
How good are these airbags?
Fantastic.
Oh, brilliant.
Really?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
we used them. And they're
I'm
bloody
surprised
good.
they don't use them when you
Oh,
have
no.
a tyre
Yeah.
issue in a field.
About this sort of size. He slid two of them under there. Just turned the
They
taps.
do in a field.
Lifted it straight up.
I've not seen them.
You've not seen them do it?
No, what? You mean,
literally a flat bag, innit? And then all of a sudden it just lifts them up.
Brilliant.
Brilliant
I took a
things.
photo of them.
And
Yeah.
then, anyway, so this is a wounded tanker at the moment. So how long until it sees another day? Oh, yes. Oh, right.
Bloody good.
Fantastic bit of kit.
How long until it sees another day?
So parts are being delivered to my house tomorrow morning. So
Monday.
yeah, a couple of hours on Monday and it's done.
Okay. So not
It would have been back on the road this afternoon, but I'm one of those.
my day has not gone well since this has happened this morning.
No.
It's been one of those days.
You've got to cheer yourself up with a big meal early with Michael, haven't
Well, Michael had a big
I'll
meal.
bet he had a big
He
meal.
had a big.
you? Is he getting big again?
Oh yes, he's a stone heavy. So I am 14.1.5, and he is 14.10, and I'm so
Is he
happy
back
about
at that
it.
shop at Falcon?
Oh, he's
again, at the
eating.
cake
He's
shop?
eating. He's eating.
The silver fox is eating it.
Yeah, he's eating. Yeah, and he didn't have pudding though.
He didn't.
No,
Oh,
not
that's
today.
he probably stopped at McDonald's after he left
So-
here and got a McFlurry.
We went to see someone today, and he's put a price together for the catering for the event, and he's got a big list. So apparently he sent an email. I've got to read it later on.
I'm on holiday, unfortunately.
Oh. Oh well, you've got to have a holiday some point.
You best save some cake.
We'll save you some cake, don't worry.
Save you a P.X beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
and a
save you a
PX
beer,
beer,
yeah. You
yeah.
could take one with you on holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a top, somebody sent me a top today, them in Tenerife, wearing October Drilling is for Losers.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a brilliant picture.
Oh, that one on the camera and Curry's buying a new telly or
Oh,
something.
fantastic. Can you believe that?
Brilliant.
Did you see that?
No.
Somebody went in Curry's and put our YouTube channel on and then had it playing on like an
big
enormous
screen.
television
Yeah.
and said I wanted to see what it looked like before I bought it. I thought that was brilliant.
It was cracking.
Now, Martin is responsible, aren't you, for dropping the tanker off. He's been very low profile today, hasn't he?
Yeah. Things happen, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They've definitely happened today.
I did. That was standing 2 hours after I put it down.
It was. You mean what you mean is out of sight warranty. It was all right when he left it. Yeah.
No, I went by it 2 hours later and that was still upright, so it must have just sunk very
I think it's
slowly.
gone very slowly overnight,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Because when they lifted it back up, the damage is only because it sat on it.
Yeah.
But it's not because it's crashed.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you've inspired us to buy some pads
Ah, good.
rather than logs.
Good.
Or not logs, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the blocks apparently are about a metre down in the ground, aren't they? Paul said, do you want to get a digger to get... I said, leave them there.
Archaeologists.
Yeah, leave them there.
Archaeologists.
The Romans put them there. So the new forklift won't work, will it, Simon? Right? Oh, now it works. Because...
You need
But,
to give it some love.
No. It's worse than this, isn't it, Sandy? Yeah. So there's a button, isn't there, Simon, on there, but you pull out. And what did Sandy tell us it did? Oh yeah, pull that out.
Makes it go
It's like a
faster.
choke. It makes it go faster. And
The other day, I did
what
is it?
what does it do, Sandy?
It does the lights.
It turns the lights on, right? So it's not a choke, and I don't mean to be funny, but it's electric. Electric don't have chokes.
I don't know what
Isn't
you're
that right?
doing.
Isn't that right, Chris?
I don't know what
Hold on, you're on my video. Don't start doing that. You'll have to cut that bit.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, it's got a choke.
Yeah, I fixed it. And
Yeah.
that pedal.
How do you feel, Sandy?
Like an idiot. that's what he is, an idiot.
Educated, yes. Yeah.
I've got to call him
Have a go,
properly
mate.
now.
Let's see if we can go
Okay,
through
come on, have a go, Sandy. Yeah.
Don't forget your pedal.
Oh, hold on, it does work then now.
Yeah, that pedal.
You've just got to tell it doesn't work.
Oh, don't tell me it was that pedal.
No. It still works
What
with
does
that.
the pedal do?
So it's a safety thing, though.
All
Can
right.
you try and move back now?
Oh yeah, go on.
Yes, but what makes it come up?
Nothing.
I don't know.
There probably used to
So
be,
it's probably just got
used to
loose
be a
on the
spring
thing.
underneath
I think.
it. They've Lithuanianed it.
Oh dear. Okay, so we've got to sort that. After long debate, we have solved what the problem is, haven't we?
Yeah, it should move.
Yeah. And right, it turned out that if you start with the pedal down for the safety switch, the computer gets confused.
With the new rubber mat.
Yeah, the new rubber mat.
The modification
The,
didn't help.
the modification didn't help. Yes. Yeah. So we've solved it. Oh well, that's good news, Simon. That means now you can't do that. You can carry on clearing the workshop up, didn't it? Right. So the weather stations have been and had a service. They've had quite a bit of new stuff bought. This is all brand new, Sandy.
Yeah, that's brand new. And a couple of other bits are brand new, but I'm just replacing the rabbit damage.
Oh, what's happened here?
Don't know. That was in the Lithuanian corner.
Was it?
Yeah, so I'll leave them to it.
What's happening? Has this been chewed? Is
This
it?
has been chewed. Yeah.
Oh right, you're
rabbits-
fixing them.
Yeah, it's just a case of rejoining.
You will need to use the red ones for these because they're quite thin.
Yeah. Well, I was just making sure I've got some.
Right, so
strings
you're
to do and stuff.
rebuilding these. So all three are there,
All
aren't
three
they?
of them, yeah. So
Okay.
they come back, all
Yeah.
service, ready to go again,
All right, good.
and then we'll hopefully get them out. And then
All right, then we know what's happening.
Yeah, might help us with the weather a bit more.
Yeah.
So no, it's good.
Oh, good. Well, I feel inspired to go and book a holiday.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. You'll be all right without me, won't you?
You will be fine.
Will you manage?
You will be fine, James.
You would think you'll get on better?
No, I think we'll just get on.
You're so polite. Kieran would have said yes.
Yeah.
How are you? Everything all right? Yes? Everything okay? Are you back from play school? Not speaking English? No? You're on camera, darling. Look, So
Friday.
Natasha is, how old are you now? April, you're going to be 2, aren't you? So you're not quite 2 yet. You do actually speak a little bit, don't you? You say papa and things like that, don't you? But, no, a bit quiet today. Everything all right?
Friday afternoon.
Yes, everything all right?
So.
You're obviously busy working.
Very much so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I can see.
Collected the baby's job's done. Now
Right.
is the second full-time job on.
Right. Okay. Well, good. You're obviously going to run me a bath, are you?
Yeah. I'll... Ding dong, ding dong.
I'm going to pay for that in a minute. I think when I get back in the house, I'm going to be in trouble. Right, so 21st of Feb, it's just coming up to 5 o'clock and not quite dark now. So you can really see how the nights are changing and the mornings are changing. So the boys worked really hard this morning, started at 5 a.m. They wanted to try and beat the wind and, turn into a bit of a disaster with the tanker and everything like that. So luckily we got that out. The damage is fairly minor. It's basically replacing the guards on the side, that sort of thing. So I think we're really lucky. Just really unfortunate, but these things do happen. And they have a terrible habit of totally consuming parts of the business. The 2 sprayers couldn't get past, and then we had to get another tanker and get that to pump out of this one. Then we had to get the wrecker in to lift it up. And we got the wrecker in because we just didn't want the damage. But this is the joys of farming. Things don't always go well. Makes it worse that we hired the tanker, so we had to tell the person whose it was. But fortunately, there wasn't any damage. Otherwise, no doubt I'd end up having to buy it, and I'd have a new tanker added to the fleet. But so Monday, they'll get back at the fertilising. Started to make a bit of progress. Got a long way to go. We're just at the very early stages. It's interesting. One sprayer with the 2 lines on it can do 16 kilometres quite easily, doing sort of 350 litres a hectare. And the other sprayer was single line. It has got 2 lines, but he only had 1 lot of nozzles on. He would be down to 10k. So he's now put the second lot of nozzles on. That will knock him back up to 16k. And it's just big difference between 2 sprayers doing exactly the same job. One was doing 105 hectares a day. One was doing 160, 170. So it just goes to show just small little details like the twin line on the sprayers and the pump capacity, being able to pump out more litres a hectare at speed, what a difference that makes on output. So they've done well. It's a good start. Sprayers have come out working well, so that's good. So after they've all been serviced up and done everything. And Chris is doing really well on getting the site done. With this bit of dry and wind really helps. It makes life a lot easier, not trudging around in the dirt. They'll get the stone ordered next week. They'll start bringing that in. That will give them the chance to get that done and then bring the curbs around. Found the fibre optic cables as well, where I put them in 2008, so I was finding them. And even though it's only 2008, it's amazing how I sort of knew they existed but couldn't quite remember where I put them. But we did find them, so that's good. So we solved that problem. So we can get CCTV up, get internet and everything down on Shed of Dreams, so that we look after it and make sure we don't get any bandits who come in. So putting the alarms in, so we all want that on the Wi-Fi, etc. So that's good. What a day. You know when you have those days that your hair looks a bit ruffled. So twice today people said to me, "Cool, you don't look very well." That's what's inspired me to get a holiday booked, but missed the half term where I'd normally be a week. So I think I'll try and go for it next week or something. Then I've got a conference to speak at the Northern Briefing in, I think it's the 6th of March. So I've got to try and fit a holiday either side of that and probably get a haircut. So I've actually asked the lady, she'll come and cut my hair. So that might be next week. And Tom's running off to Centre Parks for some days. So going to have to try and squeeze some filming in next week in 2 different times. So I hope nothing exciting happens in the middle of the week. Otherwise, poor old Tom's stay in the Centre Parks will be on the phone to him and say, "Tom." But there we go. So thanks to everybody for been subscribing. And didn't quite meet 21,000. The hoodies, they are being dispatched. And I know some people have already got them. So I had a really nice message back. And we also got a message over the email to say that from Lucy Wright that her husband was wearing October drilling is for losers while they're on holiday in Tenerife. So I put a picture of that on Twitter. So I thought that was great fun. And I'm pleased it's bringing joy to people. It brings us joy as well. People know that it makes them smile. And I hope that the hoodies everybody's getting, that they like the quality. And you see all the sponsors who are part of the gang. So we'll look forward to seeing you next week. All the best. Bye-bye.